Well, hello there. Thank you for joining me for the next 5 minutes or so as we are doing our Take 5 segment. If you're not familiar with this, it's where we take 5 minutes on a Friday morning usually, and here it is, the 18th of November. Give you a bit of a preview of what's coming up in a couple of days. Sunday I'm referring to is the 20th of November. So what are we going to be discussing on Sunday on the 20th of November? Well, the topic and the subject matter of our prayers say a lot about where our heart is. I was having a conversation with my son a couple Sundays ago, and there was a couple other people that were involved in this conversation as well. And I'm not sure how we got on the topic, but we were talking about music genres, and my son Cameron says, I like a lot of music genres, but I just can't get behind country music. And I said, well, buddy, I'll pray for you, right? I was probably like that, when I was 16 years old, but I've developed sort of an affinity for it. And the reason why is because there's just a lot of unusual lyrics out there that you just don't get really anywhere else. And, some of these lyrics, maybe they're a little borderline inappropriate, but they're certainly hilarious. I can remember I was listening to a song that said, I went at home from a bar at 2 with a 10, and I woke up at 10 with a 2. Completely inappropriate, but it's a really good line, right? And another good line from a country song was, my wife ran off with my best friend, and I'm sure gonna miss him, right? But I think the best country song as far as lyrics that I've ever heard was a song called I'll Pray For You. And I just want to read a few of the lines from this song. You can probably look it up on Spotify or something like that and enjoy it. But here are a few of the lyrics. I'll just read it here. I haven't been to church since I don't know when. Things were going great till they fell apart again. So I listened to the preacher as he told me what to do. He said you can't go hating others who have done wrong to you. Sometimes we get angry, but we must not condemn. Let the good Lord do his job. You just pray for them. And then he goes into sort of the lyrics. He says, I pray your brakes go out running down a hill. I pray a flower pot falls from a windowsill and knocks you on the head like I'd like to. I pray your birthday comes and nobody calls. I pray you're flying high when the engine stalls. I pray all your dreams never come true. Just know wherever you are, baby, I will be praying for you, right? So kind of an inappropriate song, but certainly entertaining, right? So what does this have to do, with what we're going to be looking at on Sunday? Well, if you've been able to join us for the past couple of weeks, we've been looking at the letter to the Philippian church, or sort of the background behind it. Paul's writing from a prison cell, his time spent in this city called Philippi. Very difficult time, but yet last week, if you were able to join us, he talks about how overwhelmed he is and how much joy that he has in his heart, not because of all the stuff that he's suffering presently, not all because of all the stuff that he had suffered while he met a number of the people in Philippi. He was thrown into jail, all kinds of horrible things, but his joy was grounded in the fact that he was able to communicate the good news of Jesus, and there were a couple of families that really began this Philippian church, this pocket of believers here in this difficult city to live in. And so what does Paul do right after he talks about this joy that he has in his heart for them? Well, he talks about the subject matter of his prayer. He says, this is what I pray for you. And you would imagine all the stuff that he suffered, all the difficult things that he went through. He would probably pray for their safety, probably pray for their physical issues, probably pray that there would be a lessening of some of the persecution in the culture. But he prays for their love to abound more and more. That's the subject matter of his prayer. So we're going to be talking about what Paul prays about for this particular church. He prays for their love. They were a loving church, but he prays that their love would grow and abound and flow all the more and more. And then he gives them a definition, really, of the markers of mature love, right? So I hope you'll be able to join us 10 o'clock on Sunday morning at Faith Church. If not, you can find me right here on YouTube, and we'll unpack just a handful of verses here in chapter 1 in the book of Philippians. God bless. Have a great remainder of your day.